Introducing the Deep House Space. My name is Euphonia. Imagine yourself lost in a world of pulsing bass lines, hypnotic melodies, and infectious grooves. Welcome to your haven for deep house delights. Let's embark on this sonic journey together.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to Booga the DJ, only on the Deep House gentlemen, you are now listening to Booga the DJ, only on the Deep House space. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to Booger the DJ, only on the Deep House Space. My name is Bongani Metomapu, the Deep House Space. Grace upon these platforms that expose the undiscovered. As we enter, we breathe fire from the other side. Conquer and divide, by our rules they will abide. House music is in control, now turns the tide. In our house, we are one, connected with the rhythm. My name is Bongani Mehlomakulu, and you're tuned into the Deep House Space.
Mic check, mic check. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. This is the Deep House Space as always. We do this thing on Fridays. We talk about deep house, talk about generally house music. We invite guests. Our first guest is already here and grab the mic. and you talk to them about their music. Today we've got Mos as a guest. We've got Thabo Tonick, who'll be making his first appearance on the Deeper Space. And M Power RSA is going to be closing the show for us, who's been here before. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for giving us your time and your ears. Upu played us a couple of songs. I played a song by Salvador and Dave Tempo. That's actually coming out, I think, next week. Yeah, next week. I think Salvador is releasing a song under his own label. And the title of the song is Been a Minute. So that's the first song that Upu played. And then he played a song by Electronic and Oscar Mbo. Oscar MBO. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's just crazy. It's just the crazy. I guess that's a bootleg of a very famous song by Lebo Matsosa. And then, just before I grab the mic, played a song by Soare, Mexican Dance. I'm actually going to have him as a guest next week Friday on the Deeper Space. So shout out to Upoga, the best DJ on Twitter. Let's test the mics. Kazi Zulu's here. Kazi Zulu, mic check every Friday.
Hi, Vox. Hi, Vuga. I'd like to welcome our guests. I'd like to welcome our listeners. Thank you to everyone who has joined us today. If it's your first time here, please stick around. We listen to really amazing music here on Fridays, and we listen to the producers tell us about their music. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
Siyabonga Kazi Zulu. Thank you for joining us too. What DJ? Every Friday, what DJ?
Thanks. Hello. How's everyone doing? I hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are blessed. It is, of course, another Friday edition of the Deep House Space. You know how we always do it, making sure that we're killing each and everyone when it comes to good music. And of course, man, blessing your ears, of course, with good music. No man, please do for me a favor, guys, and please share the space, and let others know what it is that time. Of course, as already our artists are already here, man. I suge the train. Otherwise, Ukraine boy.
No, hundreds for it. Hundreds. We're doing this thing again, as we always do on Fridays. Yes. One of these days, I think we need to do a request for the year, but one of these days we'll do it. So one of these. Let's give the mic to our first guest, Sam Horsincha. Please unmute your mic. Welcome to the Deep House Space.
Sure, Vox man. How's it the Deep House Space community? I'm not.
I'm not. Thank you so much for
Get
giving
zone,
us
get
your
zone.
time and joining us. Go spacing. Side.
Aye, nagim not.
On the 29th of August on Crew One Records, we released a project, 6-track project. One song has a remix, dub, mix, right? Yeah. But before we go too far and people hear the music, the challenger. There's probably someone here who's never heard of Samos ever before. So could you just share a short summary or umang? Relebo.
Okay, first and foremost, ke rata ho leboga Voxman Lloyd le Deeper Space for opportunity. You guys have been supportive from day one, so ke a leboga. So ka lebitso ke Moses Hatsegae, known as Semos. Semos ke producer from Soweto, who lives and breathes deep house. So ke ipona ke le storyteller through music. So each track e ke e etsang reflects a piece of journey ya ka, the emotion le culture. So yeah, nka bua hore ke nna Semos. So this journey ke startile way back around 2006, where my brother that time nearly DJ. So he used to listen to a lot of records that was Soul Candy, Fresh, le bo Sbu. So that's how I fell in love le genre. And ke feleditse ke ntshitse album under Soul Candy. So it's an honor. Kgale ke ntse ke batla ho spana le Soul Candy. So okay, fast forward. Ke learnile how to DJ ka yone 2006 via Auto Mix. Yeah. So ke self-taught. So ka nako tseo I had to research ntho ya ho DJ-a. The internet se ne le seyo ka nako tseno, ho le thata man. So journey has not been easy. So I first learned how to DJ ka computer. Then ka 2008, I met the Infinity Boys Anthony through a friend. So ba radimile di-turntable tsa bone to practice how to DJ. So yeah, ke startile mo DJ. Yeah. So fast forward ka 2010, ke decidile to learn how to produce, but ne ke so beda man. Ne ke so utlwi sharp taba ya ho produce. So ke bile ka pause for about 3 years. Then ka 2014 I decided to go back fully to production. Ke tshwara. Then a year later, that's when I released my first single with Western. Then ka starta go pick up ke ntse ke zama le teng da. Then felt like tshwanetse gore no man ke o policha dilo tsa ka sekolong. So ka decide ya sekolong ka lo studisha music jazz. Then ka 2017 ka kopana le Stay wa those boys. So that's when I released my first EP under Diffusion Records ko labeleng ya Stay. So yeah, ne ke ntse ke spana le Majita that time. So yeah, ne ke le motivated that time. So fast forward to 2022, ke a dropa underrated EP ya ka. EP man, under Soul Candy, wa bona, Labor of Love. So that's one of my best works thus far. So yeah, they sleep on it, mara ke tla reng. Then ka 2023 I then released an album, Music in Me, ko Soul Candy gape. Then ka 2024 ka bona no, let me check Groove On Records. I like Spanish XDC I was Spana Magents. So and the fact that he pushes more local sound, I believe label ya gagwe is the best house music label mo Mzansi, Groove On Records. So I release album Lean On Love. Then ke ntse ke experimenta di-sound, ke experimenta gore nka spana kae le kae. So the turnout was pleasing. So yeah, turnout e ne le sharp for album ele. Then later on this year, which is 2 weeks back, ke ntshitse Utsile ka 29. Yeah, kopa le check-e mo, mnate, ke iphe mnate, sharp.
I think we've never had a Tara intro into someone's career as the one someone just gave us. I'm fana ke hip fan. Now if you could have such every week. If we could have this every Friday, that would be amazing, man. That would be amazing. Vanna, thank you so much. Vanna, thank you so much. That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. By the way, to everyone, the space is recorded. So if you missed any part of the journey of Sir Moss, literally after the space, when we close it, you can listen to it again. I mean, he spoke a good 5 minutes all about his journey, about studying jazz, and releasing music. He spoke a lot, spoke thoroughly about who he is. Puga is ready. Puga, are you ready to play a song from Mos? Okay, hundreds. Yeah. After that, I think we deserve to hear a song to know this man who's really giving us an intro into his career. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is the Deep House Space. Puga, Shango.
Opening up with Semos with his new EP, Utsile. Track one, hurry.
Hi, this is Nkazi Zulu the Force. You are currently tuned into the Deep House Space. Please do share the space, invite others, and get ready for amazing music and great conversations.
and you're tuned into the deep house space, 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 space,
Enter the underground where music's deep and the vibes are real. Your weekly dose of deep house is here. Let's get lost in the music. Hashtag the deep house space.
Nothing is nothing is as great as hearing a great intro into a project. Nothing is as amazing and as feel good as hearing a great intro into a project. After lapho aziyawa. Don't back down. Buga played the first song from Mos, which is track 1 of his EP released on the 29th of August. Utsile. I mean, after that, now Suzobona now. Kazizulu? Oh, Kazizulu is not sure.
Kazakekho boy.
Anginakanga. I'm busy driving one. Buga, great intro. What do you think? I'm for it. Before I cool, man, just Mos.
Ah man, beautiful one, beautiful one, beautiful one. So mellow. Gets to introduce you to the EP, you know, to show you good. Okay, we are versatile line like higher when it comes to the release of the EP and the sounds that are being played, you know, so melodic in Dwana. It's chill, the tropical. I understand that drive nyana nje yabo ukushaya isitupu nje ugibele nje uye eKapa yabo, but nah, beautiful one, Poison.
Nah, 100. Semos, do you think intro into, I mean, the first song of a project, of an album, EP, can determine, can easily sway maybe a person's thinking about an artist? I mean, just like the intro that you have given us. Do you think intro, a idea, fellow raw, it's album A, good Kemasepa or album A or EPA, it's gonna rock?
Yeah, ke di leng ka teng. The intro, especially mo EP or album, o tshwanetse go be important. Ke yone e kayang light to whatever project o e etsang. So yeah, ke believe gore intro ya track tshwanetse go be tsone.
Now, one it, Nja. One it. So, title of the song, which is the same title of the EP, Utsile. Please share, or what does it mean? Is it related to someone, perhaps?
Okay, Utsile, yeah, Eric share Utsile as in whole EP. So Utsile, nkare, you know how only busy o producer, o se aware gore o create a storyteller. So o di name the track, o etse everything. Then later on, you are like, no, this is actually a storyteller. So Itsile is very personal. It's about growth, patience, low celebrator, the deep house sound ke ratang. So I wanted to represent evolution yaka as an artist while still staying true to soulful roots. Tsak. So ke yone Utsile eo.
Ah, lovely, man. Lovely. To translate the name to Kaskoa, so for people who I say it's king, king Kaskoa.
Utsile, you have arrived actually. Yeah,
You heard it. The title of the EP and the track means you have arrived, and the man has arrived. The man has arrived. Boga, mfana show ingoma. Ngihappy vandag. Take ngihlezi ngihappy ngama Friday.
I know. Asibe happy out. Next song, track 3 by Samos Nkarabe. Enjoy.
Yo, 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 this is your boy, Usiple. You are now tuned into the Deep House Space. Hashtag the Deep House Space.
The deep house space, 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 space,
Yo, 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 this is your boy, Usiple.
I've been trying to call you, but I'm got it. Sorry, I'm when you get home, because I know I will. Get my booties, I'm breathing. Yeah, let's start. I get back to that. You said I must call you first thing on the song, but I know you don't. I wonder why. I've been trying to call you, but I'm tired. Sorry, I'm when you get home, because I know I owe you. Keep my booties, I'm breathing. I'm tired. I've been trying to call you, but when I won't cut up, you won't cut up.
house space.
Hi, this is Floyd of Lale Jeans, and this is Menu of Lale Jeans. You are now listening to the Deep House Space.
Yes, you just tuned in to the deeper space if you just came through. On Fridays, and our first guest is Mos, and the song we just played now is Nkarabe, and on this one, Mos has Huiti, Livati, and Tanzanero. I hope I said the names right. But that's Boya Kabanga. The second name, Huiti Livati. If I translated straight to Totital, you could say something like Avamans, right? But yeah, just running wild with my imagination. But thank you for joining in. Boga, second song. Uh, traditionally, right? Traditionally, I think um, we grew up listening to. Okay, maybe differs as generations, but you grew up listening, hearing jazz in the background from your parents, hearing perhaps traditional music from Umaskandi to Mpaqanga. And it's nice every now and then to actually hear an electric guitar in a song, like to hear it traditionally. Like it's actually quite nice, just like you hear it in this song. Like just to hear the traditional electric guitar play as quick as it does Umpaqanga or Umaskandi. Some fun. Nkazi Zulu, are you a fan of Mpaqanga, Maskandi, perhaps?
I
Hayi
lean
mina
more to the Mbaqanga side, actually. I was also going to mention that guitar. That guitar piece was the highlight of the song for me. It was very lovely. It was proper, but also I like how his vocals glide with the song. It's a very chilled song. It's a very nice song. But yeah, no, those are my type of vocals. The ones that feel like they are supposed to be there.
Exactly. Nkazi Zulu always mentions how she's not really the biggest fan of vocals, but it's really nice every now and then to hear a song aligned with the vocals. Like when the song changes, something else also changes with the person singing the song, right? It's actually quite nice every now and then to hear that. Shout out to Semos. Semos, traditionally, where do your roots come from, Nja? Just like Unkazi Zulu mentioned, that electric guitar. There's also this. Kocha, what's this instrument that drummers play that sounds like a tin, Vele King? What's it called?
tambourine. I
Exactly.
think it's tambourine. Yeah.
Right.
It's
It's nice
on.
to hear
Yeah.
those sounds like we woot fella. But yeah,
Yeah.
please share.
No, no, nna ke Motswana bashithu, ke motho wa Mos Thabo Tonick. So nkarabe ke answer me ke Setswana. So the song is about calling out of love, connection, understanding. So ke a spiritual plea that I wanted to bring into a deep house context. So ke spanne le Levati. Levati ba fethu powerful. Mtshita wa spana, so yeah, so his voice carries so much emotions, and he brought life to story behind the track. So ne ke batla a vocalist who could make people feel the message. So yeah, we did say jwalo Levati. So ke editse instrumental actually, then ra recorda Levati. So Levati ka motšhela ke rae man, dileng ke utlwa di-guitar mo yone man ya shotanyana. So ke a mmotsa gore do you know anyone o ka e chapang guitar, because of ke batla a live guitar, electric guitar sort of feeling yana. So Levati le Tanzanero ke dimpentše, so tholela Tanzanero. So That's how nkarabe is orating ka teng. So production ya teng ke soulful nyana, but mixture nyana actually. But it's still deep enough for the dance floor. So yeah.
Mvana, proper stuff, Nja. Proper stuff. I'm glad that, I mean, you even brought in a session musician. That's amazing, right? At least you have a story to tell about your song. What you know, Voli Fruity Loops. Yeah, I'm so yellow poor, but I mean, it's nice to have a story that has a Konum Cheetah, and we went through the song, and as he plays those strings. Like it's nice. Like it's nice to hear the story. Nah, I'm fine. I'm happy about the project. I'm fine. But let's play two more songs and then right. Yeah, let's play another one, Paul. I'm fit. The project is into it. I'm blind.
Track 3 that we are playing, but on the EP it's track 4, titled Celebrate. Enjoy.
tuned into the deep house space.
What's up, beautiful people? This is C Moody, and you're at the place to be, the Deep House Space.
For the love of deep house. Hi, this is Sabrina Child, and you're listening to the Deep House Space. For the love of deep house. For the love of deep house.
Yes, for the love of deep house, you tuned into the deep house space. So Pure Child actually released a couple of songs recently, no? Yeah. So Pure Child all the way from the UK. But on a movers note, I'm a celebrity. Abantu abakhulu. Song just played now. Celebrate by our first guest, Sir Mos. The poet DJ. Awufaka umbono lapha mfethu. Can you play electric guitar nyana mngani wami?
Oh, mfana, I've been studying ukudlala igitara mpintshami. And funny enough, in my family, mfana, siphethe abantu abaningi abakwazi ukuyidlala mfana. Mara when it comes to me, I don't know mfana. Angazi nami, angazi mfana. Kuyanyiwa. But yeah, it's all about Samos. Exa Samos, shapfere.
Hola, Rasu. Mnati.
Umunati chat.
Naki mnati njako wena.
Steady. Mfana, let's talk about this song, Celebrate Njaka.
Okay.
What was the process behind the song, Njaka? Because I'm hearing some broken beats, I understand. I'm hearing some elements in yana tsengata, wabo, and it's so chilled and so beautiful, Njaka. Kamoki skupunyana ya matha, wabo. Can you tell us more about it, Mfana?
Okay, mo celebrate ne ke setse ke celebrate o tsile wa bona. So celebrate ke about gratitude le joy. So actually track e ke ya khale ne tshwantse re etswe ko albumong e le ya ke ntshitseng So Candy. Music in me. So I decided to re ke tshware ke release no more this EP. So celebrate is a reminder to appreciate life no matter the struggle wa bona. So ntho e kaofela. So ne ke batla ho etsa something different, something e sharpang wa bona. So the track has that soulful groove e ke nqanywang, di warm chords nyana la le bass line, the uplifting melodies nyana. So it's a song that can light up the dance floor, but also you inspire through a positive image, how we it. So yeah.
Beautiful, Njaka, beautiful. I mean, like you mentioned, Hore, we need to be celebrating this life, and with Bophelo, Mfana, life is way too short, Njaka. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. How do you, as Samos Mfana, would you like Hore to be remembered, through your music, through your life? How would you like to be remembered, Njaka?
Oh, now I would like to be remembered ka music wa ka. Soulful House motho o ingangyelang soulful wa bona o sanang stress o sanang dilo tse ngata. So yeah, ke batla go celebrate ka music actually.
With that, Mfana, do you have any backup? Do you think, Hore, as a producer, Njaka, we should have like backup music? What do I mean? In case something would happen, no, I understand that. Semose kimo hosanu sing hasatsababu can't talk anymore. But do you think, Hore, music wa ha Mfana, do you think that producers should have backup music that whatever would happen to them, Fana, they still leave that legacy continuing through their music?
Yeah, that's how it is. Le ha ke etsa yone album EP ya ka ke buile ke editse ke storytelling but no sa se bone wa nthola. So that's a celebration ya semo. So yeah, nka e beya jwalo.
Ah, beautiful. And lastly, Njaka, the word Semos, let's walk.
Hey, Mos, I was DJ Mos actually, Khali. So I am inspired by Celestia. So I used to listen to stuff sa Celestia hangata. So hey, man ke monganya kana kutsagi. So yeah, I used to listen to Celestia. That's how se itlileng ka teng. So Mos ke Moses dibitso la ka. So se Mos e tswa la.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful child. Yeah, I know, Njaka. Haribeda, re kgutlele back to the good music. Ke a leboha, Poison, ne?
Ah, ke a leboga le nna.
Ololo, Vox.
Sharp.
This is the Deep House Space. And our first guest, Mos. Next week. Let's see, next week. 19 September. Soare is going to be joining us. DJ Slee is going to be joining us. And Salvador. Let's line up for next week, Friday. Thabo Tonick, please accept the mic. Bottom left, please request or accept the mic. You're up next. Semos. Then after this, we go straight to Thabo Tonick. Thank you.
As we send off Semos, we're closing with track 5 of his EP titled Midnight Groove, the Dub Mix, featuring Citizens T. Enjoy.
Hey, this is Kylie Music and you're listening to the Deep House Space. For the love of Deep House, baby. For the love of Deep House, baby.
Hi, my name is Bungiwe Intlafugazi. You are listening to the Deep House Space.
Yo, what's up, folks? This is your boy Tim 8D, and you're listening to the Deep House Space.
And you're tuned in to the Deep House Space.
Yes, you tune into the Deep House Space. And the last song we just played is Midnight Groove, the dub mix by our first guest, Mos, and on the song he has a citizen stay. I think you've had a great hour with the Mos. Van. Great hour indeed. Okay, before I share the mic with everyone else, let's test the mic of our next guest. Thabo Tonick is making his first appearance on the Deep House Space. Thabo Tonick, the bottom left, Mvana, please unmute your mic. Let's test the mic. Let us see this thing. Okay, let's try that again. Tonick.
Hola.
Shafene.
One good one.
I'm fana hundreds. I'm fana just to soften yana. So karu kakenya oomph.
I have to shout. What's happening?
Okay, no, we hear them. We hear you loud and clear, so it works perfectly. Perfectly, I'm fine.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Tara Mike, that just mute it, and then as we finish off with Semos, we come straight to you. So that is Thabo Tonick, is right after Semos. Kazi Zulu, last words for Semos. Are you happy with the music? Are you happy with the story?
No, I'm very happy with the music. I'm also very happy with the way he introduced himself. As you said, if we could get this every Friday, that would be so exciting. You know, he really layered and told us, his story from how he started. You know, that was really, really lovely. Samos, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Before you go, could you please share your social media handles with us?
Okay, ke Semos_SA on all socials. Ko WhatsApp 0846 555 914.
No, ra leboha.
Thank you so much.
Ra leboha siyabonga Nkosi
Okay.
Zulu. Anything else Nkosi Zulu?
Ko lebogang na.
No, I'm good.
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Buka the DJ, amagama okugcina for Semos.
Mina ngimnandi ke mnati.
Okay, no. Ne ke re buka the DJ.
Oh.
No, all the best in Chaka. All the best in your music career, Mfana. Let's hope this is not the last. And definitely, Mfana, the deep house space doors are always open in Chaka. So yeah, re kopa ho bona next time, Poison. But all the best with the EP. Yeah, re tla utlwa ka wena next time, Mfana. How was the the interaction of the EP, Mfana? But yeah, thank you very much. All the best and God bless, Incha.
Semos ja re kopa relax remarks tsa mfetsi. What do you think of yeah, ntho e re etsang mona ka di Friday? Re busy re posta dipina Instagram. Hey, how fela. Just give us also your experience and of today. Thank you.
No, ntho e le etsang emergency ke ntho e grand wa bona. Ke ntho e grand for house music mo Mzansi. So re gola re batla di-platform tse ntseng so le rona re kgone go vaisa music wa rona, so le continue le etse di weletsang ka teng. Yeah, ka leboga for platform e leng ka le nyane today.
Thank you so much for joining us and for your time. Till next time.
Sharp.
And that is Semos. Go check out more of his music. We only played a couple of songs from his archives. So go check out his music. It's out there on streaming services. You mentioned he's released a lot of music. He's released a couple of albums over the years. And that is Semos, our first guest on the Diva Space for today. And now, second guest on the lineup, Thabo Tonick. As mentioned, he's doing this thing for the first time here on the Diva Space. And he recently released an EP on Deep House South Africa. So we're going to play some songs from Deep House South Africa. But before you play the music, let's get a summary of who Thabo Tonick is. Well, Thabo Tonick, please unmute your mic and do share with everyone. Moko spacing, Romang. Today we invite you to have a chat about your music and play some of your music. But before we do that, for people who do not know who you are, please just show who you are, where you come from. This music thing, where does it come from? Thank you.
Hello to everyone listening. Thanks, my guy, Boxman, for inviting me today, bro. So, Thabo Tonick is a dude from the Free State in a small town called Kronstadt. So, it's been years doing this, you know. I've been doing this for years, quite by now. I think I started 2011 or 12. Can't really remember, but I remember that I started with DJ. Later on, went to production. So, yeah, I think you would have to ask me a specific question for me to tell you something more about myself. But I guess that's it for now.
Nah, no problem, excuse me, no problem at all. Before Puga, DJ Runa Thala Music, on the 22nd, you released Grounded, 3-track EP. Just summarize Grounded. Urwetsalang grounded.
Yo, the story with the word grounded is actually crazy because um all those songs they are old except Get Down because Get Down I did it last year. So from track one, I think I did it 2019. Track two, I think it was 2022. But they got delayed. They were actually supposed to come out on Bush Doctor recordings because they were signed by Byron before he went to Deep House SA. So there were delays and delays and delays and all that. So finally now we were able to release them as we are. So the story it grounded. I think why I named them the EP grounded is because the sound of the EP sounds like very deeper than what I currently do right now. So I feel like it was that sound that's grounding me back to who I used to be. Maybe if I put it like that or something, but it's something that it's like the foundation of Tabotonic, who Tabotonic used to be, and maybe you can hear throughout the three tracks how I've evolved and stuff. Like I said, track one is the oldest, and then there's track two in the middle, and then the latest is track three, which is Get Down. And specifically with Get Down, I wanted to do something that I don't usually do because most of my sound is dark, and I just wanted to do something maybe that could appeal to everyone or most people. So and I see it's kind of getting like that kind of response and traction. So yeah, I think that's the story of the EP. Yeah.
No, thank you, Mfana. Thank you for sharing that with us. Our DJ is ready. For the DJ, are we ready to play some songs from Grounded, released under Deep House South Africa? Amarasa Spana, Zamara Kudlebu, Amara Kudlebu, one day. That's one day, is one day. Shango, Marapo.
One day is one team, fun. Thabo Tonick, from the EP Grounded, starting off with track one, Nothingness. Enjoy.
Yo, what's good, music lovers? This is Chima Music, and you are tuned into the Deep House Space.
The deep house space, 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 space,
Hi, this is Nkazi Zulu the Force. You are currently tuned into the Deep House Space. Please do share the space, invite others, and get ready for amazing music and great conversations.
Yes, I think we have some of the best from any house music broadcast or podcast. And if you want to grab the mic and you want to, do not be shy. Do not be shy at all. If you want to give a question to our guests, do not be shy at all. The song just played now is from our second guest, Thabo Tonick, Nothingness, released the EP under Deep House South Africa on the 22nd of August. So we started off with some soulful vandag with Mos. Now we're going deep tech. Now we are going deep tech. Tawoncha, your career has blossomed quite well, Amfana. I mean, a couple of releases and stage show sounds, um, release and Candid Beings. So you've blossomed quite well. Who do you? I mean, who do you give thanks to for your career, Fana, to where it's at today? I mean, you even get booked now. You fly all the way to our shores. For some of us who stay in the Cape, but who do you go back and give recognition to for where your career is at, Vandag?
I mean, obviously, everyone had a hand to play or a role to play, but if I would go back from the start, I would really like to mention Ironic. I don't know if anyone knows him. So because he was one of the first people that spotted me. I think it was 2017. It was one of the people that spotted me. He was like, bro, we have a record label. We wanna push music. I think it was called Urban Mystic Sounds, UMS. So like everyone was there, bro. Like I don't know if the other guys have told the story before, but it was literally me. Hyperphonic was there. The chick was there. Who else was there? Like people who are household names now. I don't know if others Native Tribe, and others Kiddy Deep, even Salvador. He used to go by Fisto the Soul back then. Salvador was also there. So it that's where everything like kind of started, where we started meeting each other, knowing each other and stuff like that. And then Candy Beans, that's when it started coming to us because we were like a movement already. So I think the first person that the Mood Dusty talked to was Hyperphonic. Because Hyperphonic was exceptional, guys. Still is. So eh, yeah, Mood Dusty talked to Hyperphonic first, and then I think I came on after Hyperphonic. So that's when things started changing with Candy Beans. So Candy Beans, bro, like it's like Candy Beans is like the Dortmund of the deep house industry in SA, they like develop people, you know, a lot of people, and then people go on to another level, you know. So I would really like to give a shout out to Wood Dusty from Kelly Beats, because if it wasn't for him, I don't think I don't think I would have been I would have had access to Kid Funk, because even during my time with Candid Beans, I had been trying to like sorry I had been trying to hit him up, you know, send him emails, send him demos and stuff, but he wasn't responding, you know, as you can imagine. So the first time he heard my music, it was from a promo that Mood Dusty sent him of the EP that I released in 2021. I think it was what was the name of the EP? I don't remember, but there was a song called My Blood is Electronic, which he likes to say is one of the early three-step songs. Kid Funk, he likes to say that. So I would like to give a shout out to Kenny Beans, because they gave me like the ladder to go on to the next level, and then instead Two Sounds just took it to another level. So in terms of who do I thank for where my career is at this moment, I mean everybody had a different role to play, you know. But I think if I were to give thanks to someone who like did the most, you know, it has to be Kid Fang. It has to be Kid Fang, because he has plugged me in so many shows. I think I remember the first time I got paid royalties. It was with Straight True Sounds, you know. So that was like a life changing moment for me. Even though it was not much, but it was like I was like, oh, so this is how things work, you know. I started to learn a lot of things with Straight True Sounds, you know. So yeah, man, I to answer your question, I could thank a lot of people, because they all have a different role to play, you know. But Stay True Sounds, bro, like it just puts you on another level, and then after that a level that there has to be a level that you have to get to, you know. So that's kind of where I am right now, man. Loving. Um, I need to break another ceiling, you know. So yeah, I think I think I've answered your question. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Now, for the Arabile perfectly, Fana. You Arabile perfectly well. I mean, you took us from where it all started to the middle part and to your current. But I think you answered it very, very well. I mean, you took us through a phase where certain people that, as you mentioned, are prominent names today, uh, were at a certain stable, and you all were there together, and it would be nice, to have those. I mean, you said his name is. You said his name was where you started, the guy that recognized you first.
Ironic.
Ironic. It would be nice, to have maybe a small talk about someone like that, someone who first, who was there first, and like, this is the reason why I saw Thabo Tonick, and I heard his music and I put it out there, and today, 15 years later, look at Thabo Tonick, vandaag. It would be incredibly nice, honestly, because I think in most cases, people generally know the the person that perhaps is is releasing your music now and reckons that's the person that has actually put you on the block. That's what actually people see. That's what people see.
Yeah.
Abantu bona ngathi, no, stay true, stay true. Kanti bheka mfethu, ironic. Look at what ironic did. Mfana.
Yeah.
Amazing story. Amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think we need a song after that. Yeah, no, carry on.
And I was about to say before him there were others, because there was a guy called Mike Tamburini. I don't know where he was from, but I think no, I don't think I know. He was the first guy to put my music on digital stores. I think it was around 2015. But I don't like mentioning that story because it was I guys like that time, it was during the time when you would be excited just to see your music on track source, you don't care about anything else, but I remember the contract was crazy, even though I didn't sign it, but it was crazy. So I don't like mentioning people like that because they just took advantage of um young kids from South Africa doing music, you know. But there have been like I'm just trying to say there have been people, and then came ironic. He was actually working with Luzuko, Luzuko Gama, and I think he's from the Western Cape, I'm not sure, or Cape Town. So they were both like he was the owner and then ironic was like the A&R, you know. So yeah, people like that deserve to be mentioned because even now recently he's quitting music because I don't know, maybe things are not going well with him because he was doing tutorials on YouTube. I don't know how that panned out, but need to be mentioned because they have played a role in so many careers. So yeah, you're right about that.
I'm fine. I think our first two guests have leveled it up for the year. I'm not sure about what Nkazi would think of Boga, but I think the stories make the music, man. The stories make the music. The music needs to have a story, right? It just doesn't need the fruity loops. It just doesn't need the fruity loops, man. I remember, I remember one time, and this is a story. This has actually happened. Someone came and was like, this was like in September or something, and it's like, I started making music last month. But that's come on, man. But but when you narrate the story yourself and you literally take us back, you can even search these people, and the monuments are there. Like the monuments are there. You can like, go back and right. Music needs to have a story. Music needs to have a story. Boga ashayingoma mfethu.
Hey, works smart. I know we're still grounded with Thabo Tonick. Second song, the Sonic Architect. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Nkazi Zulu the Force. You are currently tuned into the Deep House space. Please do share the space, invite others, and get ready for amazing music and great conversations.
And you're tuned into the deep house space, 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 space.
Yo, music lovers, this is Elmatic Deep, and you're tuned into the Deep House Space.
Hi, this is Dafro, and you're listening to the Deep House Space.
Yes, you tuned into the Deep House Space. Thank you so much for joining us. Time is 13:32. On to our second guest for today, Thabo Tonick. He's already shared incredible stories about his life and music, and some people that we know that we wouldn't have known if he didn't come here. So shout out to Thabo Tonick. Nkasi Zulu, have you been liking the Grounded EP? I know this is your type of sound.
Yeah, you know me so well, Vox. You know, I love how Thabo Tonick adds dark sounds to his music. Dark sounds for me add body to music. I say this to Puga all the time to say add body because I can't find a better word than that. It makes it solid, if I could put it like that. Hi, Thabo, how are you doing? Vox, can you hear me?
Hi,
Yes, you can hear.
Kasi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you mentioned in your story how there was a guy who put your music on digital platforms for the first time, but then you felt like possibly he was using you. Could you please explain to us about the importance of knowing the business side of things first before you can release your music?
Knowing the business side is very important because it will save you a lot from paying school fees, as they call it. It will save you a lot from a lot of things. You know, you have to know where your music is going and how your music is doing and stuff like that. But I can understand that for most of us, when we start, it's just about the music. You don't really care about anything else, you know. But I think things are different now, Melody. Um, information is out there. You know, it's not like back then where you had to find research on your own. Like we talk about artists getting ripped off every day now, you know. So it's not something that taboo or something that will shock you anymore. So if you are into music and you wanna release your music, maybe with a record label or whatever, right now you really don't have an excuse not to know what not to do and what to do. So just know the basics that this is what split sheets are. This is when I sign my music, the rights and stuff like that, masters and all of that. Like right now, I don't have an excuse not to know what these things are because they are right there in our eyes. So it's very important to know the business side of music. It is.
No, siyabonga, Zulu. Thank you for that. Let's give the mic to Frolic. Frolic one. Mic check, mic check.
Hola, hola, how's it, people of the
Yeah, I'm
space?
gonna be a grand. I'm gonna your side.
Mnandi, 100, man, 100, 100.
Any remarks from the music? Who is Willie van Daag?
I just got in right now, Abona. I didn't hear the first artist, but Mos Thabo Tonick, I know him. I listen to his music. I know him, Abona. But I was surprised that he was associated with Ironic, and Ironic has been quiet, man. So let me ask Uchibo Suguchi. And like, what happened to Ironic? What's his story, kahle, kahle?
Oh, bro, I can't really say, you know, what happened because Ironic, he was releasing his music, obviously, and then he started to go the independent route where he had his own label, but he was only releasing his own music. And then he opened a YouTube channel. Well, the channel he's been doing that before. He used to like post other people's music and stuff. And then I think they shut down the channel and then he had to do another one. But now he took a different approach where he was doing the same thing X Dizzle does, where he does tutorials and stuff like that. So that's the last time that's the last thing that I saw him do. So I don't know if I thought it was going well. I thought it was going well for him. He would drop music here and there. You know, he even dropped an EP with Aluku Records. I think it was last year or 2 years back. I'm not sure. So I thought I thought things were going well for him. He even last year was it last year or 2 years back? I'm not really sure on the dates, but he was featured on the Amstel something where producers like your Moda, your Meta, your DJ Ken, they were featuring upcoming artists, or let me put it like, and they would release an EP or something. I think he did a song with DJ Ken. So I thought things were going well for him, and then not so long ago he just comes out and says he's quitting music. So I don't really know what's his story, but that's what I know what he did. It was music, it was YouTube, and yeah, that's all I know. I'm not sure about other things.
Yeah, you're right. I'll also do some research on myself. I even forgot about Ironic, Like, seriously, the way it's been so quiet, man.
Yeah, he was, and he was a really dope artist. So I don't know what happened.
Blind. I remember his track, Evil Angel. The track was so dope.
Yeah.
He even got, I don't know how many artists to do a remix on the track. Album, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you know
Hey,
him.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah.
him. You know him. Yeah.
You're right. Short talk.
Oh, no.
Shout out to Frolic. Kesu Kona namhlanje. Kesu Kona Frolic. Thank you for joining us in the Deep House Space.
This is what split sheets are. This is when I sign my music, the rights and stuff like that, masters and all of that. Like right now, I don't have an excuse not to know what these things are because they are right there in our eyes. So it's very important to know the business side of music. It is.
No, siyabonga Zulu. Thank you for that. Let's give the mic to Frolic. Frolic one. Mic check.
Hola. How's it, people of the
Yeah, I'm
space?
gonna be a grand. I'm gonna your side.
Mnandi, 100, man. 100.
Any remarks from the music? Who is Willie van Dijk?
I just got in right now, Abona. I didn't hear the first artist, but Mos Thabo Tonick, I know him. I listen to his music. I know him, Abona. But I was surprised that he was associated with Ironic, and Ironic has been quiet, man. So let me ask Uchibo Suchi. And like, what happened to Ironic? What's his story, kahle?
Oh, bro, I can't really say what happened because ironic. He was releasing his music, obviously, and then he started to go the independent route where he had his own label, but he was only releasing his own music. And then he opened a YouTube channel. Well, the channel he's been doing that before. He used to like post other people's music and stuff. And then I think they shut down the channel and then he had to do another one. But now he took a different approach where he was doing the same thing X Dizzle does, where he does tutorials and stuff like that. So that's the last time that's the last thing that I saw him do. So I don't know if I thought it was going well. I thought it was going well for him. He would drop music here and there. He even dropped an EP with Aluku Records. I think it was last year or 2 years back. I'm not sure. So I thought things were going well for him. He even last year was it last year or 2 years back? I'm not really sure on the dates, but he was featured on the Amstel something where producers like your Moda, your Meta, your DJ Ken, they were featuring upcoming artists, or let me put it like, and they would release an EP or something. I think he did a song with DJ Ken. So I thought things were going well for him, and then not so long ago he just comes out and says he's quitting music. So I don't really know what's his story, but that's what I know what he did. It was music, it was YouTube, and yeah, that's all I know. I'm not sure about other things.
Yeah, you're right. I'll also do some research on myself. I even forgot about Ironic, Like, seriously, the way it's been so quiet, man.
Yeah, he was a really dope artist, so I don't know what happened.
Blind. I remember his track, Evil Angel.
Yeah.
The track was so dope.
Yeah.
He even got, I don't know how many artists to do a remix on the track. Album, yeah. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, you know him.
Hey,
You know him. You know him. Yeah.
You're right. Short talk.
Oh, nah.
Shout out to Frolic. Kesu khona namhlanje. Kesu khona Frolic. Thank you for joining us on the Deep House Space. Kasi Zulu.
Wait, I have a question for Tabo and Frolic. Are we talking about ironic, ironic? Is that the ironic we're talking about?
EYE.
Yeah, boy.
But he dropped something today.
Did he?
Ow.
Yeah, sorry. So I've been hearing this ironic thing and it's been bothering me. So I wanted to confirm. I've also been a big fan of ironic for a very long time. He dropped something today.
Well, that's dope.
You
That's dope. Then if he's back, then that's dope.
Meme ke Kasi Zulu.
Yeah.
Namele sumeme. Thank you. 1340. Puga, let's play the last song from Mos Thabo Tonick from his 3-track EP, Grounded. And then after Thabo Tonick, we go to M Power RSA. You're going to play a couple of songs, released, unreleased. And we're going to hear more about his musical journey. Thank you so much for joining us and being here on the Deep House Space. As mentioned, next week, Soare, DJ Slee, and Salvador next week. Yes, on the 19th of September. Bugatti DJ, shout out to Mengaza mfethu.
Last track by Thabo Tonick. It's Get Down, track 3 with L Jazzy Q. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Duffel, and you're listening to the Deep House Space.
And you're tuned in to the Deep House Space.
Introducing the Deep House Space. My name is Euphonia. Imagine yourself lost in a world of pulsing bass lines, hypnotic melodies, and infectious grooves. Welcome to your haven for deep house delights. Let's embark on the sonic journey together.
Yes, let's embark on the sonic journey together. Actually, put that on a t-shirt, yes, by Euphonia. I printed that, yeah, but one of these days I'll show it. The last song just played from Mos Thabo Tonick, Get Down, with Earl Jazzic on it. Hey, Paul DJ, I think I haven't gotten the mic for Mos Thabo Tonick, and we might as well give him a last remark for the Thabo Tonick.
Isn't though. If you just joined us, welcome to the Deep House Space. Welcome to the Deep House Space. Please share the space and let others know what you are. We're still here. We're still here doing this thing that is called good music, you know. Except how Shafere Tibos.
Order.
Whatever vele, like if you're from Kasi or anywhere mfana, you'll always be given nicknames mfana, whether you like it or not mfana. Already you know who Tibosi Thabo ki Tibosi vele wabo. But anyways, you good, my brother?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
I'm blessed. Mfana, you know, you mentioned, let me start with Vox. Vox mentioned something very, very beautiful, you know, mentioning your story, like you mentioned where you started and everything. And he mentioned something about, you know, creating documentaries, you know, and I was watching this other documentary, Kanye West, you know, where he started, how he elevated into this music thing, you know, and like it made me think, you know, I think this is important for many artists to do, you know, creating documentaries. What's your take on that? Where we get to see Thabo, where he started, you know, in that small room with earphones or his headphones, and then with just a computer, to where you are today with monitors and everything. What's your take on artists creating documentaries?
It's funny. It's funny you say to where I am now with monitors, whereas I'm still using a laptop and headphones. But to answer your question, it's important to document our stories because it's part of the music industry history. You know, it's part of the history of our music, and especially with our genre, like maybe let's say deep house or soulful, there's not really much media attention to it, you know. Whereas the piano guys, I'm a piano, they're doing documentaries like every day, you know, to tell you how did this thing start. Oh, I was producing in a shack, what. But with deep house is always like we guys, we need to stop this underground mentality. I know my EP is called Grounded, but this underground thing is not helping us, guys. It's really not. So we need to document um our stories, our journey, you know, so that people know there was there used to be whoever a box who started a podcast on Twitter, call it a podcast, you know. So documenting things like this, you know, there are things that I'm saying today that some people don't know, but because of platform, you know, we get to tell these stories. So same thing with documentaries or whatever form of media we can go into, and whichever platform we need to tell our stories. It's very important. It's very important so that people know how this started, just like, not to derail, but just like this, the three-step conversation that's going on. I see some people who don't have a leg to stand on, claiming that they came up with this thing. So because it wasn't documented, we know where it came from. It used to be broken beat and stuff like that, but it wasn't documented. So someone's gonna come today and say, "I started with this thing," and other people will just follow it. But if there was documented evidence or history, then we would say no, this is actually where this started and stuff like that. So yes, it is important to document our stories. Yeah.
I straight Mfana, you facts. You telling something that is really, really important. It's like a proof of payment of some sort. Alright, no, I started this and yeah, I paid. This is my proof. Jaka, you mentioned a lot as well. You mentioned a lot, but also you mentioned a lot regarding Stay True Sounds. And I saw you that you are also on the lineup, yeah, Spring Fiesta on the Stay True Sound stage. Can you tell us more about that, Nfana? What can we expect? What can people expect from your sounds regarding your gig on that day?
Um, I'll be playing in the afternoon during the day. So just like the first time, 2023, I played at 2, and then last year I played late. So this year I'm gonna go back to 2 again, because if you saw, the lineup is hot as, yeah. So what you can expect, there's a thing about me. I don't heavy. If you've ever heard me play, just know that that set was not prepared. Everything I do is on the spot. But having played for a long time, I know, okay, this does not go with this, the mood and whatever, the track selection and so on. So it's like second nature to me. Obviously, mistakes somewhere, but most of the time I nail it. So what you can expect, I also don't know what to expect, guys. I just need you guys to be there, because whatever you'll be experiencing during my set, I will also be experiencing it for the first time. So what you can expect is just a good time, and yeah, and Tabatonic in the purest form. Yeah, I think that's it.
My last question, Jaka, to a producer, who's out there starting something, Fana, but they don't know, where to go, how to reach about creating content or reaching out and getting followers and good lovers of music. What would be your message to them regarding this music journey?
Honestly, when it comes to growing like your brand and stuff, my answer is just gonna be subjective. It's not that it's gonna work for you, but you could try something else, and something that I haven't tried, and it works for you. So for me, I don't think, if you've noticed, I'm not really on social media like that, like trying to get followers. I used to be like that before, but lost my social media page, my Facebook page. I think I've lost it twice. I'm just in a state where I just want things. I don't even send people invites to follow me. I don't do that. So I focus on the content that I want to make, which is music, and people must follow that. People must follow me because of the music, I know some people will say you're gonna have to be controversial, so that the focus is on you. I mean, that can work for you or anyone else, but if you're asking me what to do, just focus on your craft. Eventually everything else will come along. I know this sounds, I don't know, cheeky or whatever, corny, but just like when people say focus on the music and the money will come later. It sounds like BS, but it is true, you know, because you have to have something to sell. So focus on whatever that you want to sell, which is your music, your brand, or whatever, and everything, followers and everything else will just come at the right time. In it, yeah, that's what I would say to someone who wants to know how to go about this. Yeah.
I know. Thank you very, very much, Jaka. Thank you for your presence, Jaka. Thank you for blessing us with wonderful messages, man. And yeah, you taught us a lot about you, in a short space of time. But we thank you very, very much, Mfana. All the best, and yeah, I'll see you go Spring Fiesta, Jaka. Ube mnandi, ne?
Thanks, my dog. Thanks for having me, guys.
Ololo, Vox.
Shout out Puga the DJ. I think Ulonga here has something to say. Lunga, please unmute the mic.
Sure, boss. Yeah, just a quick question for Tabo. I think this is more of like a general question. I'm just curious because I've noticed on the digital platforms, not just you, but like some artists or quite a lot of artists, let's say on Spotify, for example, they sometimes take the music off, and when I try to play it, it's not there. Like for example, I noticed, I think, the fight goes on. I think we did bring it back online. So I'm just curious as to why is it that artists like do that? I don't know if you can answer that. And then secondly, this is just more on the music. Um, what sort of inspires some of your tracks? So, for example, Unika, Joy Boy, The Fight Goes On as well. Which scenarios do you find yourself in where you, how can I put it? Like, do you did the instrumentals were inspired by a time where you're at the bar, or you were at the beach, or you were on the roads, doing gigs, and you just record in between? Like, just which scenarios do you find yourself where you get your creative juices, basically, if I can put it that way? I don't know if I'm making
Um,
sense.
yeah, you're making sense, bro. To answer your first question, it depends. Sometimes maybe the label is having trouble with distribution, or maybe they're trying to switch distribution, and then the music gets taken off those platforms. Another thing, in my case, what happened with The Fight Goes On, if you can check on my Tabotonic profile, it's not there because they misspelled tonic. They spelled it with th, so that's why it doesn't appear on my Spotify. It has its own Tabotonic with the th profile. So things like that. That's why I always emphasize spell my name correctly, because that mistake can create a whole different other thing. So in terms of the music, I don't know. Maybe it's just that thing where it happens that maybe you're not on good terms with the label, or terminate or whatever. So I don't really know according to other people what happens. But in my case, it was just a spelling mistake. Um okay, the second question. What was the second question? I forgot.
So I was asking, like, how do you, or what basically inspires like
Oh,
your creative juices? Yeah, but
okay, okay,
um,
okay.
Is it like a place that you've been? If you've been on the road, you're doing
Mm,
gigs, were you at the beach?
yeah.
And then you just come up with certain ideas on some of the instrumentals that you put on your songs.
I get inspired a lot by watching movies. I watch anime, like you can tell with Joy Boy, Almighty Push, and Nika. They're all names from anime, you know. So sometimes it happens sometimes where I could get stuck on a project, maybe on a song for like months, you know, and then I watch something and everything just starts making sense. You know, maybe I get inspired by a certain scene on the movie or anime, and then everything just clicks. You know, so I would say my main source of inspiration has to be anime, and sometimes I do get inspired. Maybe if I'm out listening to other people play, or mostly it's a piano that we listen to. I would get inspired by something, but not necessarily make that same thing, you know. I get inspired by people who are not even doing house music, you know. Just when I listen to them and I listen to how free they are in whatever that they do, and I try to be as free as I can be with my own music. So yeah, a lot of things that inspire me, but I would have to put at the top movies, TV series, and yeah, anime.
Ah, cool. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Oh,
No, shout out Lunga. Thank you so much, man, for coming through and carrying the mic on the deep house space. We give thanks. We give thanks. Taubaja, thank you for your time, Vana. Thank you for your incredible time. I think it seems like invite we've been waiting for it for the longest time for you to share your thoughts, to give us information, man, that we never knew about your career, about your music. So thank you so much for the shuffle around. The next time, would definitely share an invite to you. Besides Springfest, anything else music that we should expect at least maybe for the next what is it now, September, next 4 months of the year? Wetala.
well, for the 26th, I'm dropping a song on C Black's album, the collaboration. So it's coming out on his album 26th September, and then next month, I'm not sure on the date, but I'm dropping a song with Say KG from Basement Art. It's gonna drop on Basement Art. Um, and then and then November, I have a collaboration also on Charles Webster's album. It's gonna drop on Under Stay True Sound. So I think his album is dropping. Yeah, I think it's November. What else? So yeah, I think those are the three releases that I can speak about. Other things, they're still work in progress. So you can expect more to come, definitely.
Thank you so much, man, for joining us. Your weekend and be safe, Nja. Be safe.
Thanks a lot, my dog. Thanks a lot.
I think because you normally ask this, but it's where do people get you if they want to do collabs, if they want to buy music, if they want to, yeah, where do people connect with you?
You can connect with me on my Instagram, which it's Tabo underscore Tony. Yeah, Tabo underscore Tony. And Facebook is Tabo Tonic. Twitter, Tabo Tonic underscore M. And can I share my WhatsApp number also?
All right, go ahead.
So on WhatsApp, 081 459 8898. So that is only strictly for business, guys. Please don't text me and say hi, you know. So just business, and if you wanna collaborate, but now I'm not really doing collaborations because I'm currently busy with an album. So yeah, hit me up for anything. Maybe you wanna book me or anything else. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. So yeah.
Thabo Tonick, thank you so much, man, for being here on the Deeper Space. Thank you for your time, patience, and the music. Keep well, Mfana, and keep safe. Till next time.
Thank you, Boxman. Thank you.
That is Thabo Tonick. I only played 3 of his songs, but he has a cluster of music out there. Lunga mentioned a few. He also mentioned beautiful stories, man, that we would have never heard anywhere else if it wasn't for the Deeper Space. So shout out to Thabo Tonick for being here today, and shout out to you for being here today and being a guest, being a listener, listening from wherever you are, probably at work, probably at home, probably at training somewhere, contract somewhere. But thank you so much for joining us on the Deeper Space. Our next guest is M Power, but before we go to M Power, I want to go back to Sam Moss and just maybe hear some thoughts from Sam Moss as regarding Thabo Tonick. Sam Moss, mic check, mic check. Are you still there? Oh, ushiyile phone fela wagcwala isigango. Let's test, let's test.
Santsane ke le teng my gents.
What's your thoughts, Nja? Any remarks for Thabo Tonick?
Thabo Tonick, for now, ke mo tseba the guy, wa spana wa pusha, so I continue wa push sponsors shapang. So hopefully in future it la shapa something. Yeah.
Right. Number one. That's enough. Ralebo Anja, thank you for still being around. Thank you for still being around. To our next guest, Empower RSA. He's been here numerous times now. Empower RSA, mic check, mic check.
Skip by the Vox. How's it, everyone?
Happy Friday, Mfethu. Thank you for gracing the Deep House space.
Where's, man? Happy Friday, happy Friday. You know, I never get this excited about doing interviews like on the Deep House space. It's a special one for me, hey? How's everyone doing? I'm great, man. I'm excited, energetic. Yeah.
No, I say easy energy. As for the Friday food, say easy. I'm going to put more fire. Thank you for joining us, Empower RSA. There's few people perhaps Empower that bangakwazi. They don't know that you're quite young and you have a record label and so on and so on and so on and so on, and that you helped the Deep House Space to release a compilation. So before we play some songs, please do share with everyone. Good to Ubani Empower RSA. Why is he here today?
Okay, so I'm gonna try and squeeze it in about a minute or so, you know, but normally you would need like 3 hours to know who Empower RSA is. Essentially, man, he's a music producer, musician at heart, DJ, sound engineer, also at heart. And I am also the founder of what people normally refer to as a record label, but it's actually a multimedia company called Maxnote Media. And yeah, I'm also a student doing my honors. And what else? What am I missing? Yeah, I'm a media guy, man. Honestly, I'm a media guy. I do everything media. So from video to audio. I'm also a radio host, which is something people don't know. That's why you can hear I can articulate my voice very well. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Currently, yeah, it's just music, it's the company, and pretty much that.
Okay, no, Sabonga, thank you so much. Media mogul. Media mogul, eh? Disakahle.
Entrepreneur box. Media entrepreneur. That's the
Yeah.
title in Iboni Laguti fits me nicely.
No, no, I like that. I like that. I'm fine. Shout out, shout out. Poga, we have some songs from M Power RSA. What is queued in? Poga the DJ?
I know. Knowing Empower, he's so good, Mfana. We are just selecting here. We'll start off with Let's Take It Slow, Mfana. Yeah, I see Tatin slow, yabo. Singing in Guyo. Enjoy. Empower RSA with Let's Take It Slow.
Yo, music lovers, this is Elmatic Deep, and you are tuned in to the Deep House Space.
And you're tuned into the deep house space, 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 space.
Yes, you tuned into the Deep House Space. The time is 14:14. And on to our last guest, Empower RSA. We're starting with Empower on a mellow, soft, lounge sound. It's incredible how our influences has a show in our music, Vandaag. Yes. I mean, we generally hear this generation again. Ken Lewis was, I guess, the epitome of the type of sound that he released. So where he really slowed down music. And I believe the story is Glenn nje, when he was playing the Vanilla wachinja nje from 3:30 to 45. I believe that's the story. I believe that's the story. It's like, oh shit, this sounds cool. And then, yeah, I believe that's the story. It wasn't even something crazy as Wachinja nje i-BPM kuphela. But anyway, shout out to M Power RSA. Let's give the mic to Frolik. Frolik one, how do you think of the first song from M Power RSA? Frolik.
Hola.
Let down
Yeah,
tempo
yeah.
Empower. What do you think about it?
No. As far, yeah. No, inamba lena. Quite chill vele njengoba bekasho ubhuka. Ma ngifuna ukuza ingoma ebisithu kahle kahle yabo. Bese ke ngizoba nombuzo. And otherwise vele lento leyo le oyishoyo ukuthi vele wayehlisa ithempo uGlenn Lewis. As far go search on the internet the original titles of the songs lapha kule disc kaGlenn Lewis lapho uzwe i-BPM yakhona igijima kanjani sibala. It was actually music, techno if I'm not mistaken, like the original techno. Before ke thina sesifaka bo-deep senzani. I understand. But ivari into eshoyo yona Vox.
Incredible, Mfana. Serious, incredible how just music happened. And I mean, I guess eventually foods we heard Kwaito became huge influence on
Yeah.
our music. And yeah, and I think it still is today. I mean, I personally still is. I think Kwaito number one, then Amapiano is the second best ever genre that, okay, no, wait, let me go back.
Yeah, Ben.
Let me go back. I'll say jazz, then I'll say kwaito, then I'm a piano. Yeah, M-Sans. But anyway, let's give the mic to Nkazi. Nkazi, first song by Empire RSA.
Another day where I hate myself for not knowing music from a technical perspective, because there's a lot of elements that I heard there which I wish I could express technically, but I cannot. But that is a beautiful song, Empire. It's very laid back. You get the quieter elements that Vox is talking about, but yet it's soothing. That is beautiful, a beautiful way of producing. I have a question. So you've mentioned that you're a radio host, you're a student, you are a producer, you're a DJ. Oh, you do a lot of things. You're a label owner, but you corrected us there. I just didn't catch it properly. In the world that we now live in, you need to also push social media for numbers, right? So how do you balance all of this? Because I assume that you do all these things yourself. How do you balance all of this? Touch base with your fans, DJs, be a student, be a radio host. How do you balance it?
Great question, Ngazi. Really great question. Short answer, there is no balance, honestly, because it's crazy. I'm telling you this because I got to my place this morning at 8. I've been working the whole night. We have a new release on Max Note. So I've been up the whole night promoting, been shooting content and all of that. And I almost fell asleep here because I came to my place. I'm like, no, let me come freshen up because at 3, it's called time. I'm engineering a show that's happening at 7 p.m. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave the place at like 11, if not 12. So there is no balance, but I love it. I am media. I am music. It's my life. It's all I know. I enjoy it. So I make time for each and everything that I do. And in terms of social media, I'm very consistent also with that. It's also something that I fight with the guys that I work with a lot about. Social media. I know people today, people like your Voxman, your Boga, the DJ, who we've met through social media. So I know the power of social media, but more importantly, the power of music. And now we share common mediums such as your X, your Instagram, and whatsoever, which connect us to people because we can't all be in the same place. Not all of us are from Amanskral and stuff like that. So social media is very powerful, in connecting us with people. So I don't know, like there's really no, I can't say there's a balance to it, whatever. I've done crazy things. I deprive myself sleep. I always say sleep is for the rich, but yeah, I'm always working. Like there's really no balance. I can't say this is how I balance it out. I really can't say.
You're guning, I guning. But thank you so much. You answered that very well.
Yeah,
Please.
yambona nkazi beka ready empower for today. No, beka ready indeed. Let's go on to the next song, Puga. Let's play another song, Puga the DJ. As I mentioned earlier, as the Deeper Space, we released three projects technically, two compilations, and with the help of M Power RSA with Mixcloud Media. So if you go and search the Deeper Space on the streaming service, you'll come across compilations that we've actually released, and the songs are all from artists that we've actually interviewed before. So maybe in the next 2 years, 4 years, we need to make up another one. But we'll see, we'll see. But for now, brother TJ, I'll share you go, my love.
I know, without a doubt, we're still cruising nicely. Yonke into ihamba ngohlelo. Our M Power RSA is in the house as well. If you just joined us, welcome to it. Welcome to the Deeper Space. Next track, M Power RSA, cruising nicely. Enjoy.
Introducing the Deep House Space. My name is Euphonia. Imagine yourself lost in a world of pulsing bass lines, hypnotic melodies, and infectious grooves. Welcome to your haven for deep house delights. Let's embark on the sonic journey together.
What's up, friends? This is Grant Austins, and you're now tuned in to Deep House Space on Twitter Spaces every Friday from 12 p.m. Yeah.
Yes, every Friday, 12 p.m., we are the Deep House Space, and we're live. We're live with M Power RSA, our current guest. Today, we started off with Sebos, and then went on to Thabo Tonick. The space is recorded from the first second that it was. Of course, always repost the spaces, the sessions on my YouTube channel. These things need to last forever, man. Yes. Millions or great grand ones or aliens. One of these days when they come down and they check this out, so like, shit, this time was cool. Yabo? Just like when we look back and look at the 90s, emerging hip hop and R&B, we're like, that was cool. Right? Just like even times of Larry Head, yabo, we're like, that time was cool. Nazi. We need to have aliens looking down on us and like, that time was cool. Ngazizulu cruising nicely. Are we cruising nicely? Ngazizulu as a deeper space.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Most definitely. I'm very happy with the movement. You know how I feel about the devout space. I'm very happy with the movement. You know what I appreciate about Empower's music with the two songs that we've heard, which is All Cruising Nicely and Let's Take It Slow. I think I may be wrong. He's going to correct me. He pays attention to how he titles his music because when you listen to his music, it really goes along with how he's titled his music. Am I right, Empower? Is it intentional or it's just a coincidence?
That's 100% correct, actually. Yeah, because I can change a title quite a number of times to make sure that it fits the sonic, you know? Sometimes it's just like this is how I feel and this is the title of the song. But that's 100% correct.
Siyabonga. Ngazi. Mfethu, Empower. Traditionally, house music is upbeat. I mean, we've seen and we know. When you tour the likes of Europe and of course the States, yeah, well, they play very upbeat music. Seeing that you play lowered BPM music, you make a lowered BPM music. Do you not think, Mfana, perhaps that there are corners of this world that you are perhaps blinding your music to?
Yo, it's a very good question, Vox. Very, very good question. Soulfrika played abroad recently, and I watched videos, snippets of his set. It was so weird hearing him play his music at such a high tempo, you know? That's the thing abroad. When I got into music, I couldn't really stand these lower tempos because Mina, I was listening to Abo Span, Abo Louis Vega, Abo Sean McCabe, and these guys, the lowest, I'm not even the lowest, but more or less the slowest they go is like 120 BPM, which is relatively fast, Lanemzant. So I loved that up tempo music, and I still do. Uh, when I started making music, ish, producing at that tempo is hard, man. Especially when you're starting out. You easily maneuver things when you are like there, go 115 and even as low as 110. But also, I do have a couple of songs which are upbeat, and the feeling gets lost, man. As Mzansi sijwayele nje just to be around 100 and
Did the aliens abduct Empire RSA, Bunga?
Yebo baba, he's gone.
Um, the aliens that I was talking about, that one day are going to reflect on music, have disrupted Empire RSA. But because we have music to play, we'll play a song. Let's play a song, and then and gradually wait for M Power to come back to Earth and carry on as him narrating his story of music. Booger, let's play another song for you. It's actually, I apologize for the inconvenience. Mara upugune ngoma.
So Mfana, I was digging in the archives lapaya Mfana, and I came across this one song, Empower done with Umanando Mfana, one of our very own as well. And Mfana, the song also speaks, but yeah, let's go for it. Lost in the Moment. Enjoy.
yourself lost in a world of pulsing bass lines, hypnotic melodies, and infectious grooves, welcome to your haven for deep house delights. Let's embark on this sonic journey together.
Your haven for the past delights, as Euphonia mentions. Lost in the Moment was released on the 7th of Feb this year by Manando, somewhere in the shores, somewhere, somewhere in the world, with M Power RSA. M Power, my check.
Fair.
Hey, we lost you, my friend. The aliens took you, fam. The aliens took you. You were mentioning yazi bowusakhuluma kahle mfowethu.
Oh no, screen time singaya certain hours on social media. After that, siyakhatha bo, but yeah, extendile. So yeah, I was still saying like I think with me positioning my tempos or the speed of my music at whatever it is right now, I'm also sort of teaching or educating or influencing people abroad to enjoy house music at this tempo specifically, because tempo does play a huge role also in how we feel music. You understand? So that's why there's like bebop when it comes to jazz, smooth jazz, the tempos. There's something about the speed, slowness, fastness. So isn't this ganja?
No, Mfana, thanks for sharing that. Let's give the mic to our previous guest. Hopefully, he's still here because he's still on the panel. Thabo Tonick, mic check. Are you still there? Saluting, Incha. I'll be patient. Maybe my exes won't say that I've been patient, but Thabo Tonick, mic check. Okay, Thabo Tonick isn't there. Thabo Tonick isn't there. Poor DJ, Obama mic mfethu. We've worked with Empower for a very long time. He's been around. He's been around.
Fox.
Oh, Thabo, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Bro.
No, man. I asked Empower regarding maybe bracketing himself regarding the speed of his music. In fact, in other regions of the world, as a producer, as a music maker yourself. What's your thoughts on that, in fact? Because we are in a relatively, I guess, mellow society in South Africa, where we enjoy more of a relaxed kind of music, and not the upbeat, quick step music. Um, as a fellow producer, what's your take on your speed of music and how it perhaps um, gets gets felt in and around the world, just besides South Africa?
Yeah, it's the BPM issue is very tricky. So like Vele, when you play outside SA, bro, it's hectic. Even in SA, because I realized when I was playing in Cape Town, no, not before Cape Town, before Kitcheners got closed. I think it was the last one actually, and it was the first one I was booked at for Unleash the Hope. When I got there, they were playing Deep House at like 119. I was like, it was a shock for me because where I'm from, we play like your 116, and then those BPMs like 118, 119, 120 is only reserved for Afro House. So it was quite a shock for me. And then when I got to Cape Town, they were playing Deep House at one. You know, it was such a culture shock for me that people are still listening to house music at that BPM, you know. So regarding the issue, I like to keep it maybe halfway, you know, not too slow, not too fast, to a point where I can blend in with either, whether it's I'm playing a slow set or a high tempo set. It doesn't sound that weird, you know, because recently I was playing in Kenya and I was playing my music at 122 BPM, which was crazy. It was crazy, but the set was so dope because at high BPM that doesn't allow you to like chill or sit down. You have to be on your feet all the time, you know. So the BPM issue is quite tricky, but if you are looking to go abroad someday, you would have to just pick it up a bit, you know. Even if it's not too much. Like I said, over now I play halfway, like in the middle, not too slow, not too fast. So yeah, that's what I would say about it.
No, thanks for sharing that, Mfana. Thanks for sharing that indeed. Puga, any thoughts from your side, Mfana, for Empower?
I know Mfana. Empower. Hey, this guy Mfana, he's a killer, you know. Like he said, he's an entrepreneur when it comes to this sound thing, this audio thing that we're still trying to figure it out each and every day, you know. But yeah, I know he's a killer in it, Mfana. Ex Empower, Shapfere.
Mnandi Puga ugre.
Mfana, killer boy. Everything is smooth, everything sweetie matzini, mfana. Poison, you know, you mentioned a lot of things that you doing, and you also mentioned when Kazi asked you that how do you keep up, and you said there's no balance into this thing, mfana. Um, Again, I'm gonna take it back to what Vox and what I asked Thabo Tonick, you know, regarding documentaries, you know, the importance of having such, of creating such, you know, because you never know about life, you know, tomorrow, Mfana, anything could happen. But with you, Mfana, what's your take? What's your take on documentaries? Do you think, Mfana, it's something that it's really a need for one to have, especially with you being you know all over this this audio thing that we are doing, you know, doing radio DJing, being a producer, an engineer, you know, DJing as well. What's your take on this documentary issue?
So I think for me, because some of the people who inspire me and have gone on to make it, I've seen their early days, and I'm going back again to social media because social media is documentary in and of itself. You understand? So if you can go through any of my social media accounts, including this one, the Twitter account, you can see my early days, man. You can see me pushing from high school, even from primary school. You understand? Like everything about me, everything that I do is out there. Now I've started this thing where I'm sort of like vlogging now and just showing you what goes on in my day. Sometimes, I mean, I don't do it because my days are crazy, man. Like, I start working at like 10 p.m., knock off at around like 6, 7, sometimes 10 a.m., and then I'm sleeping during the day, you know, so it's repetitive. But mina, my journey is out there, you know. Ksasa, if I become actually when I become some of one of the most influential people in the music business, you will see Uti Kale Pidai, like Kale back then when I didn't have anything. Otabo Tonic mentioned about using a laptop and just headphones. I mean, I never had any of that. Being I would rely on friends. Being we are latently. This one time, time alang shot. No. Linda wa yakho kubuya ebusuku le. Hayi, buyela la ubuya khona. And I literally went back. Okay, sure, ngicosha ngisho sharp. I mean, esiphikisane. And I went back to my friend's house to continue what I was doing, honestly. You know, so my life is out there. I think we're not documenting house music enough. Instead, we have this thing with my we're showing off successes, and that's that. You know, I'm not against people showing off their successes. It's great, but we're not documenting house. You know, house music is rooted in struggle la eMzansi. If you bheka amajita njengabo Prince KB, uzwitori zokuthi amajita walala emaklabhini. Abo thina bese-Cape Town buka, se-Cape Town sagwazwa, salahlekelwa amafoni, yonke ragutes, you understand? So we're not documenting house music enough. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. We need documentaries. I think, Mina, once I move back to like Joburg, I'll be on that journey, man. Honestly, you know, because it would be really lovely to know how Thabo Tonick from, I think he said Kronstadt, made it up to even get to be in connect with maybe Kid Funk and even play Kenya, which is amazing, bro. If you think about it, people like your or Sam Moss, you know, who exactly you got in contact with, who did you speak to? Listening to these stories, Mazringwabo Oskido, it's like so cool, it's so inspiring. We're like, no, this brewer opened the door for me. He said this to this person, you understand? And which is why I mean I always tell Uvox with no man, I appreciate you big time because it's those stories happening, but it's not documented. You know, if industry deep ngaringa ukuthi deep house space isenzelani as thina machita yojus ngabhala incwadi, you understand, but we're not documenting that, man. So documentaries are very important. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, but I will make a documentary one day about Max Note and what it will and what it has done for the industry one day, trust me.
Aye, beautiful one, Jeremy. Beautiful one. Two more questions and then yeah, see Lulise boy. You mentioned Uguti, there was a time where your father kicked you out, Benjami. I mean support of parents, you know, and I am gonna be racial about it. Black parents, you understand. The support that we get from the structure of families, Mfana. What's your take on that? Because at first I feel like they wouldn't realize what you're doing. They wouldn't see it. They wouldn't see what you're doing. They would tell you, go, Yazin, Lento music, you just cut it out. It's not bringing any money. All you have to do is become a lawyer. All you have to do is become a doctor. Do you understand? What's your take? You coming to your parents and saying, hey, look, I want to do music. This is the path that I want to choose. This is the path I want to go, but at first they wouldn't support it, you know, but probably right now they are starting to see some results in what you're doing, you understand that? But your take in in parents, you know, in black families, what would you say, Mfana, regarding that, and what do you think Uguti it would help for them to probably improve in all of this?
So I'll tell you about my story, ne? I am, I don't know if I should say lucky or blessed to have open minded parents, you know? So my biggest support structure comes from home, bruh. I'm the last born at home, and there's two girls above me, or before me, rather. Time as a mechanic, bruh. And time nganya matransi, you know, mina Joe Nkule on a Saturday, watch my friends play on the street. I'm working with my dad the whole day. Nje sisipana akunakudlala what. Only that time yabo akunakudlala besisipana. And also you pay me, so I'd use that money and then ngiyazi ukuthi ngizothenga i-10 rand MTN and then ngiyofake kuphela sakamagriza and then I'm on data file host downloading deep house, I'm researching about the music business and whatever. So that has been my life. It has been rooted in just working. Like I was talking to a friend, well, a brother man, yesterday, and he was like, yo man, you need to enjoy the youth and your youth. I'm like, ish, I don't drink, I don't party and whatever. So your statement and the examples you mentioned are sort of distorted for me because what is enjoying your youth? I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So it's time being a fool writing the music because it was a problem in school. Yeah, but I remember when I got my first laptop, I spent so much time on it. And he said, Uzo pashas. And trust you me, man, Tamalam is capable. We pashas. But when I spoke to him about it, the reason why I was supportive, man, is because Nenkani, and I really want this thing, and I've shown them results. Like it was also lovely for them to just be listening to the radio, Metro FM, and they hear my music, they hear my name. It was lovely for them. I remember there would be times where my music would be playing. And I remember when I was interviewed on Ilikwala Kwala FM, they were getting calls from people. Hey, we're hearing your son here and all of that. So them seeing the results and actually seeing how dedicated I am to this, and also babona ukuthi it's not leading me astray, because mina bengibona ukuthi impintshi zami manje ngathi ziyalahleka, ngathi bafethu le ndlela engiyithathayo manje ayisigrand bafethu, ayisigrand. And when I wasn't listening to, I distanced myself, man, and I focused on Max Note. So that support came from Nkani. And I mean, I've said it even at home. I'm like, this is what I want. And if you guys don't want this, I mean, I'm willing to move out and just cut my ties with you. Like, I'm that kind of person. I love music, man. I'm willing to discard anyone who comes in the way of me trying to attain my dreams. So, Inkani has worked for me. For some people, it might not be the case. You might have harsher parents or stricter parents, asas, but Inkani has worked for me. So I think the parents we have now are a little bit open-minded because we have so many people who have made it in the industry. We have these influencers who are making money and whatever, whatever. So it opens the horizon of parents nowadays. You understand? Would you, okay, no, my child can actually make a living off this, or they actually love this, and hear the great things that come from this. And for some of the older ones, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how to convey this one, but I think Nkani has just worked for me. And sometimes I think you just need to go against your parents, because at the end of the day, man, you don't live for them. I really love my parents, but I don't live for them. This is my life at the end of the day. At some point, it will be me by myself, and they will no longer be there. What will I say to myself? Or I've pleased them? Have I made myself happy then? You understand? So Inkani has just worked for me. Like in Inkani serious gabi. Yeah.
Beautiful boy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful story, Mfana, to tell. One last question, Mfana. Mixnote Media. When submitting demos, does Mixnote Media come back to that artist, tell them your music is not fit for what we want or what we're looking for? And what does Mixnote Media have a say in streaming platforms? What are the pros and cons probably that your guys' record label owners are facing?
Okay, so I do receive demo submissions quite a lot actually. And mostly I do give feedback. Sometimes it also depends yabo ukuthi ngibhizi kangakanani, but I try to make it a point to give feedback because I mean, it's just feedback, man. I don't lose anything just from being honest to the producer and try and help them to improve. I received a demo from a producer, and he had not done really anything with his music. He was nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be heard, nowhere to be found. There was just one song he had released through a compilation, I think, with Udroid 10. And I was like, no, man, look, your music is great, ne? But remember, I just don't want people to listen to your music. Also, I want to direct people to more of your work. What you can do right now is, because right now distribution is easily accessible, try to build something on your own, you understand, and have something of your own, a unique sound, not even a sound per se, but something to say that this is my music and I'm pushing it. I have a catalog. It's frustrating to work with an artist who has nothing really online. They're not trying enough. If you, I tweeted something about the I think yesterday, I was like, nowadays being an artist means posting more about your favorite soccer team than it is about your music. So I can't go through your social media and I see things that are non-related to music. When music is about to be released, I pitch to different people. I send to DJs, I send to streaming platforms so that they can playlist us. I send even to the deep house space, by the way, to say this is music by this guy. This is his story. This is what he has done. Can you please consider him for inclusion in your playlist? So if people are gonna search you and they find posting sneakers, you posting pirates, all these useless things that are like non-related to music, it defeats the whole purpose of me trying to build something out of you. So I'm like, man, just try to be consistent. Do something out of yourself. You understand? Ukuthi, Mangzoti, Uncle Vinny, please check out this man. He's really dope. When he goes to your Instagram, when he goes to your Twitter, he sees, no man, there's potential here. Do you understand? Streaming platforms will never playlist you if they see that they can't gain anything. If they see Uti, there's nothing on your social media. For them, it's more or less a waste of time. So the more I submit artists who are not serious per se, who are not serious, I'm losing credibility as a label. You understand? It's like you are recommending us people who are not even sure actually do music, like what it is that they do. They don't even exist online. You understand? So I give feedback sound wise, I give feedback career wise. Social media is very important, guys. It's very important. Like it doesn't matter if you don't like it, it depresses you, whatever. Fuck all your reasons. Social media is very important. Music won't discover itself. It won't get itself to people's ears. You need to promote your music. Keep your social media about the music. Pirates next. They don't even know you exist. You understand? Nike doesn't even know you exist. Keep it about your music. People, you post about your music, they know you exist. Yekela ama-joke, yekela ama-cherry, yekela yonke le goedes. Post music bafethu. You understand? And then streaming services, bro, we are in shit. Spotify now has just passed on some I don't know, is it a law or terms and condition, whatever, where they can basically train their AIs with your music. So at some point you might hear Jay-Z introduce his song on Spotify, and it's actually not Jay-Z. They just trained their AI using Jay-Z's voice from the music. We fucked, they pay shit, but I mean, we can't take our music off, guys. We rely on these platforms. If we may ask here on this space, how many people perhaps know what Traxsource is? Two, three people know what Traxsource is. How many people buy on Traxsource? One or two people buy on Traxsource. People know Apple Music, people know Spotify, they know YouTube. So we rely on these platforms, man. There's not much we can do. We just have to be consistent and actually get our music to the people it needs to get to. So yeah, man, I do receive music and I do be in connect with the guys. Sometimes if I feel like this does not fit Max Note but can fit another label, then I'll contact that guy, tell the guy, I'm like, yo man, just try HOH, try Sambo SQ. I think this would better fit his label. You would better push this. And yeah, but most of the guys I'm like, yo, yeah, I know about to just work on the music. You have this problem, you have that problem. And I'm very helpful, bro. I'm very helpful. Like even though you come off rude or you come off how in the DMs, I will help you and then teach you which don't do this next time to someone else. Because angeke uvele udm uGeorge Leslie and ukhuluma isinoma kanjani ngathi manje uphume esowethu awume kancane nje ungasiphume sonke ikasi lakho yabo. Be respectful about it. There's ways to do about this, and there's also a reason why I'm this successful. It's because inhlonipho, man. Like your approach kuma DMs, introduce yourself, tell them who you are, then share your work and the purpose of the message in one message. Don't hide people. It freaks me out all the time, but I have to be kind about it and just be kind about it and calm about it and help out. Yeah.
Aye, straight in fun. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Pinchami. I know that's enough from my end. You said a mouthful, Mfana. I know, Pinchami. Thank you very, very much, boys. Nyabonga ne. Exevox.
Fede book.
Ulolo njayam.
I think one more song by M Power. There's a song with Yogi Loko, ne? Yeah, there's a song with Yogi Loko. And then we give Lost Your Marks. The time is 15:04, so it's cut. It's Dlulele. It's a deep house space, just like Empower mentioned on his own phone, his own smartphone that he's got his allocated time on social media. I like that. I like that. But shout out to each and every person. Thank you for being here. I see. The hand is up there from Frolic. But let's play the song. Let's play the song and then Frolic uzobuya after ingoma. Uzobuya ingoma. Yeah, after go. Shout out to each and every person for joining us today. Bugatti DJ. Shayengoma Masban.
Last song as we're sending off M Power RSA. It's Yogi Loco with M Power RSA sitting in my room. Enjoy.
Yo, music lovers, this is Elmatic Deep, and you are tuned into the Deep House Space.
And you're tuned in to the deep house space.
Hi, this is Sabrina Child, and you're listening to the Deep House Space. For the love of Deep House. For the love of Deep House. For the love of Deep House.
Yes, for the love of Deep House, this is the Deep House Space. And time is 14, 15, 11. We've been here for over 3 hours. And right now, on to our last guest, M Power RSA. We just played a song that he made with Yogi Loco. I actually haven't had Yogi Loco in a very long time in the Deep House Space. Thank you so much for being here. And your boy, no, Osman actually requested the mic, so I guess he's got something to say about Empower. But for now, let's start with Frolic. Frolic one, mic check, mic check.
Hola, hola. Hayi. Namhlanje ningiblessile ngomusic. Hayi. Empower ushaye number for showcase. Empower, how are you, my guy?
My brother, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I'm nice. I'm happy. How are you, my brother?
Hayi, 100, my guy. Ngiyakuzwa uphusha lento ukuthi like we must post our music on the social media. Yeah, vele social media is there to make our life easier. But when it comes to music, let's be realistic, mfethu. Like some of the dope, deep, futhi ku deep, more especially. Abayitholi recognition le abayideservayo bafethu, yabo. Mainly because the music is not popular, to be realistic, mfethu. If number yakho like abayazi, they don't abayifuni uyazi. Angazi how like the influence like your commercial house and amapiano, how do they do it? Into nami ngisafeli we understand leyo, but to be realistic mfethu, ungafika like unothima deep mfethu. Uthima deep angimazi ku-radio. Okay, yeah. There were two shows bezilapha ku-5 FM beshaye deep. Mara nazo, how long did they last? Asibeni realistic kule nto leyo. I-media yiyo econtrolayo ukuthi what do we sell kahle kahle. So what to say kahle kahle. Ngifuna ukuzwa kuwe-ke ngale nto engiceda ukuyisho.
Okay. You go back eMzansi around 2010 to 2014. Actually, all the way to 2016. Hayi eMzansi kushaywe house bafethu. The same house esithi ifast besidlala yona. Nick Holder, Summer Days besidlala yona. Yonke into nje radio was house music, yabo. New styles came, imarket yalandela lawo ma-styles wafika kufike nje igqom, hip hop took over, kwafika ipiano. Out of bonke labantu laba nje there are people who are gonna love your music. Trust me, I know. There's people who are not genre specific. Nabantu abangamameli deep or jazz bamamela music nje. If ingoma imnandi soyimamela. And I don't know how many users does the X have much. But if you market yourself well and land in front of most of these people, trust me, Jayam, 10% of that are your fans, 10% of that are your supporters, 10% of that are people who love your music. I discovered Kujenga by mistake, even. Someone just tweeted about them. I'm like, oh, okay, what's this Kujenga? I saw a video. Turns out it was the day before they dropped. I think it was their EP or something like that. I'm a huge fan and I follow them around. They came here. Fortunately, couldn't go watch them, but I follow them. And that's the power of social media. People's brains are fried. People don't know what they want. But scrolling through and you capture their attention, you got them. And then in terms of the radio, I think Mina, what happened with the 5FM show from Selective Styles to Sunday Sessions, I think it was a numbers thing, honestly. I don't think, I think perhaps Natty Nice numbers were nice and steady, but were not giving Kid Funk. And I mean, obviously, we can't compare Natty Nice and Kid Funk, but station management will never see it that way. That's what I think, because radio is a numbers game. It's about how many people you're bringing in and whatsoever, advertising and whatever. So I think that was a numbers game. So we lost the show, unfortunately, which was very, very sad. I think also Natty Nice had it nicely. He introduced so many people onto the show, had so many DJs. I was also interviewed on the show, which is amazing. You understand? And yeah, but radio's radio, man. It's business. Radio is not just about the music, unfortunately.
But
The urban beat.
the thing is, the artists they were pushing, but the radios
Mhm.
didn't give them enough backup, my guy. They into ngikhala ngayo mina le. Bayawuphusha amajita but radio check with numbers. They don't have that belief ukuthi le 200 singayenza be 300. They will first want to see
Mm.
yazikhuphukela. Okay, ayamazikhuphukela. Let's go there. That's how I see media, my guy.
Yeah, no, 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 no. Fair enough, fair enough. But also, we as a community, which is like the deep house community, are not doing enough to make a noise about artist weight. Also, artist weight who are not well knowledged about radio. I I have Max Note Media's music, which is deep house, like the deepest of house, play on breakfast show in some smaller community radio stations, and that's where it starts. You understand? It starts on community, and then you move to regional, and then you move to national. It's all about building relationships first and foremost, but also building momentum. Do you understand? Amajita ukuthi pause ufuna udropha nje i-link post iphelele lapho ubone ukuthi i-market ithini and then that's it. Amajita don't learn from the other styles of music. They don't learn from a piano, they don't learn from a hip hop. We do what has always worked for us. Concerned kakhulu ngama-exclusives, ingoma ukuthi no ubani uyayidlala phela. You understand? So as long as it's seasonally exclusivity mentality, no, we're not going anywhere. But Amachita, like your team 8 Deep, I would love to know, do they even make radio versions of their music? Because angeke udlale ingoma ye 6 minutes ku-breakfast show on radio. You understand? Nanoma kuthiwa idope kangakanani, angeke udlale ingoma ye 6 minutes. You keep it under 4. So I'm just keen to know Guti Machita even submitting to radio. I know one guy who's pushing a lot of deep house is Dion G with his show. He's pushing a lot of gens, but yeah, no, nationally deep house it's quite hard. It's quite hard to get our music playlisted.
Oh, Lindo.
Hola, 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 Fox. Uyangizwa?
Hundreds.
Alright. Since ngibulisa wonke umuntu sanibonani espacini. Ngifuna ukukhuluma no-M Power man. Ngibonile le i-tweet yakhe le bekakhuluma ngayo about people or artists posting ngama-Jersey Chiefs or Pirates or their teams, and one of my comments was like, much they don't understand how powerful social media is, so that's why by tata for granted in a way, because like I think almost each and every week la espacini ne kunokuba khona umuntu maybe out yakuphi kuphi, and then this got like 3 followers and following like 5 people yabona. So that also says a lot and goes back to lento empower bekayisho ukuthi ke kwesinye isikhathi kumele uzimakethe. Ngeke ngikhiphe i-EP today and then ngithulile. I'm not making noise about it. I'm not sharing my music. Angiye car wash emachiteni le machiteni nawu music man mamelani lana something yabona. You must put yourself out there uzibeke abantu bakwazi bakuzwe, and it starts vele kancane in your community. Ngeke wezwe umuntu wase-Cape Town umuntu ohlala the next street angakwazi. It won't work yabona. So I think artists need to put themselves out there, especially a bit deep house. Just as someone bit deep house mostly bashy and they like to keep to themselves, but it needs to change because phela abantu bamapiano they're always out there, they're in your face. Mawuthi uyabheka ubona ivideo yakabza, mawuthi uyabheka ubona ivideo yabani bani, they're always in your face. So I think up until we get to that point whereby a deep house gets recognized ngaleyo ndlela leyo, it's only gonna be us, the community yethu ye deep house, that follow the music to the core, and that's that. And then one more thing, I just want to thank you also ku empower contribution yakhe ku deep house space as well, because now udlala indima yakhe. You know, there's releases, there's things that he does behind the scenes that no one sees. So nakuye, I just want to say, you know what, thank you for playing your role and also just educating abanye abantu. I know spaces is we over time, but anyway, I just want to ask one thing. What does empower think of i-deep house yasemzansi nokuthi iya kuphi? What are like his thoughts and sentiments around the whole deep house genre and where it's going? Sure.
So it depends, Alamzan. I think we're in a very great space. Yeah? Very, very great space. And there are some of the younger kids or the younger gen, let me put it that way, the younger gen who's doing well. There's someone like Ufato 98 who petty game, who petty wave,
Yeah.
and there's about deep essentials, there's about Sooks, there's about who are the other guys? Abo chronicle deep, Amachita petty wave, you understand. But Amachita need to understand ukuthi they are tasked with like very, very important roles. Not of being the biggest artist or the breakthrough artist, but of changing the structure of the game. I don't think they are aware of that. You understand? I love what you Chronicle Deep is doing now. Started his own movement, Pusha Makigwake, Ufatso is selling merch. These are some of the things you do to change the structure of the game. Because manje sifunda kuban, sifunda kufatso, sifunda ku Chronicle. That's we see with oh he's lacking there. Then we correct that. The game, it needs like if you are chosen to do something, it's gonna be very hard for you. But then you need to break all those barriers, and that's where I think a lot of people do not see it. You know, a lot of people miss it. Is that it's not only about you. Some of the things you need to do, not only for them to benefit you, but it game. Yeah, I understand. So, I mean, I think we are like sonically we're in a great space, but business wise, teka here and there. But we'll get there when we have people like Maxnote Media. We have Stay True Sounds, who has breaking the barriers. We have Candid Bings, which is doing like really, really, really amazing. And then we have a platform like the Deep House Space, which has basically shown a middle finger to radio. You understand? So yeah, I think we're gonna get there. I think we are gonna get there, and still quite a long way to go, but we are gonna get there.
All right. No, thank you. Thank you for your thoughts and sentiments. And I wish you all the best, Joe, with everything that you touch. Ngathi ngaba fruitful and uqhubeke ngale nto yenzayo. Inkosi ikubusise. Vox, no, thank you mfethu as always. The space has been good. Ngiyabonga yizwa.
Siyabonga Mlindos, siyabonga Mlindos. Usman.
Molweni espacini. I hope ni grand.
Hayi hundreds mfowethu.
Yeah. I don't want to bombard my brother with a lot of questions, but I just wanted to because I almost forgot what I wanted to say, you know. But I just wanted to reiterate what he said about kindness. You know, yeah, this guy didn't even know me from a bar soap. I played him, a few songs because I, quote unquote, call myself a producer. And then he loved the work so much. Loved the work so much. He even went so far to open up his contact list for a guy he doesn't even know. So I just wanted to, shine a light on that. And I feel like that is what we as the Deep House community need to push ourselves and the people around us forward, man. So if people like, if more people like who Empower RSA can emerge, I feel like, yeah, Deep House, Ilanuka Deep House will definitely take back what it used to be. Like he mentioned, like back in 2010 to 2014 or 2016. I feel like that's where we are now if we look at it, because look at what Artwork Sounds is doing, you know what I mean? So it is commercially viable now. And I feel like with the right movement and banding together, we can definitely take back what we want, or push the genre in the direction that we want. So I just want wanted to say that and say thank you very much, man, to the Deep House Space and Empower RSA to for being who you guys are, because I genuinely feel like that's who all of you are, you know, because you welcome artists like myself to a beautiful space where we can share what we do in our bedrooms, you know. So thank you for believing in the art, and Empower, please, Maji, do not stop being who you are. And um yeah, I'll stop there. I'll stop there. Thank you very much. It was a beautiful space, and Maji, keep on keeping on.
Appreciate it big time, brother. Appreciate it big time, bro. You know, I believe people don't ever meet by mistake. You know, October is coming, man. You will see what we're gonna do for the EP. Check, brother. We going bigger this time. We're going higher. Yeah, but I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all the times we spent together. Just you sharing knowledge as well. I'm not really someone who opens up about things, but whenever I did, man, thank you for being that person and actually allowing me to.
No, Osman, thank you so much, man, for coming through and carrying the mic, Osman. Yeah, today has been, I guess it's been a storytelling session of the Depot Space. No, truly, truly. Shout out to each and every person who's grabbed the mic. Shout out to each and every person who's still here. Time is 13:27. Imagine that. 27 or 21? 27. Um, we'll do last remarks. We'll do last remarks as we've played the last song, né? From Empower. We played 4 songs. From Empower. Shout out to Empower, man, for being a wonderful guest as always. And standing up for the music. Standing up for the music. I think that's very important. Shout out for that, man. If we don't, then who else will? Who else will indeed? Let me start with Boga, last remark. Jwale ugcina ngawo, ngiqala ngawo vandag. Boga the DJ. Okay, Boga is
Sure, poison. Sure, Anton. Yeah, ndlula kimi. Ngiyazwakala, Anton. 1 minute.
siyazwakala ngathi esiphaza, but it's okay. Kasizulu, last remarks for today. Today has been conversations, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Today has been a very, very special installation. I'd like to thank you to all the guests who joined us. I'd like to thank you to everyone who grabbed the mic today. And to all the listeners, some of you have been here since 12. We appreciate you guys so much. You mean the world to us. Hey, Empower, before you go, because we didn't do last remarks for you, I would like to say thank you for your contribution to the deep house scene, the things that you're doing, the things that you're still to do. I'm personally looking forward to your journey, and I'll be watching every single bit of it, and we really appreciate you. So thank you so much, guys, and I would like to wish everyone a happy weekend.
Spoken Kasizulu. Empower, your last remarks for today before I get.
Firstly, thank you so much, Nkazi. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Look, the deep house scene is, and when Oz mentioned artwork sounds, now it clicked again because it's Spire, man. It's really hard to keep track of everyone, but man, since we are gonna shine, and it takes those few people to just tap into spaces where that were gate capped, spaces that are reserved for the few, and just bring along everyone else. Mena, whenever you release with me, like I make sure for your music reaches all these spaces because I don't want it to be reserved for me alone or for us. No, 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 no. It's for all of us, guys. Like music is music. Give it to the people. Let the people listen to the music. Otherwise, from me, more music is coming. The first song, it's funny because every time I'm here on the space, I never get to speak about the music itself. I get to speak about the business of music. But yeah, the first song is dropping next week. It's a Kwaito inspired, mid tempo inspired song. And yeah, man, I'm just releasing music. I do not have anything planned like an album or EP. I haven't released music in like over a year. So now I'm also just releasing music carelessly. So building up to something, probably an EP. I don't know. I really don't wanna say anything. Then I don't do it. But I'm just releasing a lot of music, and Max No Media is also doing some amazing stuff. We dropping like a lot of music. We're giving a lot of up and coming producers a platform, a chance. So I enjoy doing that. It's not easy. There's no balance once again, but like someone's gotta do it, man. Someone's gotta do it, and there's no complaints about it. But I appreciate the space. Hopefully I'll be back soon, or hopefully anyone from Maxnode will be back soon. And yeah, thank you so much.
No, sibonga M Power RSA. Sibonga kakhulu mfowethu. Thank you for your time and your presence. Afrolikwan. Last remark.
Yeah, today vele it was conversational. Mara kunezinye izinto engingakazitholi, but and there's always time. It was a nice show. Sibonga abantu abasijoyinile vele. Yeah, siyabonga nama-guest, uThibusi, M Power. Yeah, siyabonga. Semos, siyabonga. Next week sohlangana. That's if ugesi ukhona, Fox.
Sure, Frolik, thank you so much for giving us your presence again in the deeper space. Mlindos, let's get last remark, club.
No, thank you, folks. No, the space was good. I think from the time go Simosi and then Thabo Tonick naye wa-eda and then now u-M Power RSA endisigcine kudala uvalanga lesikhathi 3:30 hayi mara siphushile khumbuza le khathi zakudala mani ispace isaqala sasinokuvala nango-4 kusadlalwa iy'ngoma zonke kwakumnandi kodwa okay hayi azina akusenani no thank you Vox to everyone, all the guests, all the speakers. Thank you. We do this again next week, 12 o'clock. Nibe ne-weekend emnandi.
So, Mlindos, thank you so much, Mlindos. For my end, shout out again, Empire. Been amazing, man, as always. Keep up, man. Don't stop. Because we're not stopping anytime soon. It's been amazing. It's been a good, grand, 3 hours. That's a very long time. That's a very long time for music, but I guess it's all worth it. And hopefully one day the aliens come down and they give thanks to us. Hopefully. And your grandkids. Hopefully your grandkids listen to this thing and like, as we need to be as we need sleek. Thank you so much, everyone. Boga's gonna play us the last song and we're gonna call it a day. Till next week, same time, same place. As always, keep well, stay blessed, and take care of yourself, please. Thank you so much.
Hade man boy being chiftile ntwana. Yeah. Apologies. Osman uyishayile closing remark yakhe.
Sure.
Hola. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to each and everyone who joined us. Thank you to each and everyone who shared the space, man. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Thank you. Let's do it again next week. Shout out to Semos. Shout out to M Power RSA. Shout out to Thabo Tonick. Yeah, Asians and Footy next week. Too. Signing off with Sambo SQ and Booger the DJ, Blowing the Wind, released under M Power RSA's record label, Max Note Media. Nibe right, nibe safe, nibe good. Remember, whatever you're doing, it's a choice. Yeah. For me, Boga the DJ, I'm out. He's Voxman, he's Lindos, he's RM Power, he's Osman, ki Frolik. Hey, Frolik, you na change my beats. But yeah, we are out. Live mnat. Bululu.
My name is Bongani from the deep house space. Grace upon these platforms that expose the undiscovered. As we enter, we breathe fire from the other side. Conquer and by our rules they will abide. House music is in control. Now turns the tide. In our house, we are one. Connected with the rhythm. My name is Bongani Mehlomakulu, and you're tuned into the deep house space.
Ululu, we are out. Nibe mnandi, nibe safe, nibe grand. It's a Fox, Varada.